Alright, what is up guys? Welcome back to another Arcane Odyssey video, and yes guys, I did not quit. I was just kind of taking a little bit of a break from this game, but yeah, we're finally back. But before I get into things, I just want to say I hope you guys all had a happy holidays, a happy new year. This is going to be my first video of 2025, and I thought there was no better way to start off the year than making a build video, which you guys have been asking for a damn while. I mean, I made you guys wait super long for this, and I'm very sorry. But yeah, in this video, I'm going to be talking about Warlocks in the current state of Arcane Odyssey. And for this video, I made a Ash Thermo Fist Warlock, which is definitely a combo that I never really thought I was going to play. But yeah, I just wanted to try something new, and honestly, it was actually pretty cool. It was actually way more enjoyable than I thought. Originally, I was planning to do a Snow Sailor Fist Warlock for this video, but it just wasn't really that fun, so I decided to just switch to this. Alright, but yeah, let's talk about the current state of Warlocks in 1.17. In the current meta of PvP, I definitely say anything fighting style oriented with a class is just insanely very good. Fighting styles are definitely problematic balance wise, in my opinion, just because of how abusable they can be, the damage that they do, the movement that you get, which is very important, which makes classes like Warlord, Warlock, Berserker, but those classes are just solid in general because they just have that mobility and they just absolutely excel in close range combat. Now with Warlock, honestly, you could argue that Warlock is the best class in the game. If you said to me Warlock is the best class in the game, I wouldn't have any argument with that. It's not a bad opinion at all. Warlock is very solid. You're literally combining magic and fighting styles, and you have so much flexibility and so much options when it comes to synergies. That's just what makes it really good. So yeah, Warlock is definitely an amazing class when it comes to synergies, mobility, damage overall, depending on the combo that you choose. But yeah, I'd say those are definitely Warlock's biggest strengths. Warlock is definitely just an amazing class if you use it right. And what I mean by that is that you're picking a Warlock that has a magic and a fighting style that synergize together when imbued. That is how you can abuse Warlock to its fullest potential. Yeah, maybe you can play a Warlock that has maybe basic combat or boxing in it. Those definitely work, and I played, oh god. Yeah, those definitely work, and I've used those kind of builds in the past, but still, if you use anything synergy related with Warlock, it's just 10 times better. I don't know if any of you guys remember, Ash Thermo Fist is a pretty old meta. I remember so many people would say this is like definitely the best Warlock in the game. That's kind of like why I chose this, because I was like, I just wanted to like see if it was still good, and it definitely is. But there's definitely other Warlock builds that I'm going to be talking about in this video that are definitely better than what I'm using. But yeah, Ash Thermo Fist is still a really good combo. You got the Petrify effect, you get the Seer synergy. The damage is really good, and using a good size magic like Ash with Thermo Fist definitely compensates for Thermo's biggest weakness, which is size. So yeah, it's definitely a cool combo that I really enjoyed. But yeah, now let's talk about the gear I'm using for this build. Now for the gear, so I did something a little bit different this time. I see a lot of comments in my videos about what is a good replacement for Sunken Warrior set? What do I do if I don't have Sunken? I took all of that in, and I decided, let me make a gear build that doesn't have any Sunken items in it. Yeah, I still have a modified item in there, but still, this doesn't have any Sunken items, which is way easier to obtain than, you know, Sunken gear, and is a good example for what you could do without Sunken Warrior gear. So first, I have the armored Karina chestplate. I got Candeliers on this. Then we got the armored Karina leggings, also got Candeliers on that. Then we got the crystalline armored defense amulet. Next we got the brisk green shroud, and I got lapis lazuli on these. And last but not least, we got the Atlantean Brisk Cyrnix Falds, which also has lapis lazuli. So overall, this gives me 86 power, 816 defense, 210 attack speed, which gives me 25%, 49 agility, which is 15%, and 1 insanity. So is this a good build for PvP, and for Warlocks especially? Yes, this is definitely usable. Can you get stat checked a little bit by other people who are using better gear than you? Probably, but still, that doesn't mean you're just 100% gonna lose. So yeah, honestly, there is nothing wrong with a gear set like this, and let me explain why I put my stats into these. You don't really need to run that much power for Warlock because of just how much raw damage fighting styles have in general. It's just weird. The damage tier scaling with fighting styles is a little bit weird. You don't need that much power as you do with like MAGICS, for example. So yeah, 86 power works. You can honestly go lower and get away with it if you're using a synergy Warlock like I am. I'm using 816 defense. Honestly, I do recommend, if you are able to, definitely try getting more, because I definitely recommend tanky HP to get to 2k if you can. Because think about it, Warlock is all close up, so that means you're definitely going to be getting hit more. 210 attack speed, if you're using a really fast fighting style like thermo or boxing, 200 attack speed is literally just fine. If you're using a fighting style like basic combat, maybe you run a little bit more. You might be wondering why add 49 agility? Is it even worth it? In my opinion, yes, it is. If you guys did not know, agility actually scales on distance on mobility moves like Crash, Salino. It makes the abilities go farther, which I feel like is definitely really good. And plus, I just feel like if you're using a fighting style, you need to move quick. Agility can be an annoying stat, but I feel like it's definitely necessary for fighting style builds because they kind of need it. So yeah, definitely if you can, try running 50 to 60 agility. If you want to run more, that's completely up to you. Unless you're running 225 agility.
That's weird.
I've also seen people run like 170 speed with a fighting style like thermo, and it goes quick because that's just how thermo is. Thermo is just really quick. Now another alternative for a good Warlock gear set, you could instead, maybe if you're trying to be more of a size Warlock and you're using maybe Sailor Fist or Iron Leg, yeah, definitely invest some stats into size to abuse that strength. Go for a little bit of agility as well, and maybe go for less attack speed, because you can't really put that much into attack speed if you're trying to go for more size. But yeah, that's it for my gear. Again, I hope me not using sunken items helped you a little bit. This gear isn't meant to be anything crazy. I'm just trying to help people who don't have sunken items.
Why did bro just ram into my caravel? That was not nice, bro.
Hey man, that is not nice.
Oh shit, he actually paid me. Zane's girl 16. Wow, you are truly a good person. All right, so for my stat allocation, I'm running 120 magic and 160 strength. This is definitely the most effective stat allocation for Warlock. If you want to run more magic, I mean, I don't really recommend it. Your fighting styles are just meant to be stronger than your magic. That's just pretty much the point. I'm also using the Thermo Fist dodge reflex, which is you start off with a burst reflex, right? When your meter does get higher though, your reflex turns into a TP reflex, which is pretty cool. TP reflexes are definitely really good for fighting styles. I mean, you already get mobility moves, and if you pair that with TP reflex, yeah, let's just say people are gonna have a hard time hitting you. All right, but now let me get into my magic loadout. So for Q, I have blast, and I just have the sliders to the max. For E, I have Ash Beam. I'm just running one. I definitely don't recommend double beam because it's just way too slow nowadays, the startup. For R, I just have placed explosions. It's a pretty situational move. If you just want to end the fight, if somebody's low, this is just a pretty easy move to hit. I don't recommend using this move too much because it has a weird amount of end lag. I can show you. You're kind of just standing still for a longer time than usual, and if you use that too much, you're just gonna get hit. Now for F, I have Ash Leap, and I was kind of thinking, oh, I can't use double leap, it's not gonna work for this kind of build. So originally I started with one leap, but then I was like, yeah, I don't like this. You guys kind of know by now, I just kind of like staying in the air longer. Double leap is just more preferable for me. Even if I'm using fighting styles, I still like being in the air longer, and I feel like double leap just makes you less predictable. Last but not least, I have my snare, which is bind to C. Because you unlock snare at level 120, and with the current state of the game, Warlocks are limited to having their magic stat to 120, so there's nothing really you can do with this move except for move the snare distance. I would just keep my snare distance to 100% personally. For my Thermo Fist loadout, alright, here we go. So for Q, I have Crash, and my explosion size is 100%. Now, I was told by a lot of people, just set your Crash size to you can literally just get away with 20%, but I was also told by other people too that as a Warlock, you should definitely abuse the size that you get from your magic imbuement, and so I'm just gonna keep mine at 100%. I might maybe switch it around in the future, but I just think 100% is definitely a viable option because it's just bigger, and I feel like you do definitely see a difference. Don't use knockback because it gives you less damage, and I just don't recommend it. Me personally, I don't like knocking my enemies back. It's better to keep your enemy close to you. When you use a move like Crash, you're meant to do a move after it. That's kind of the best way to do it, because if you hit somebody, they're right next to you. For E, I have shot. My shot size is 60% and 80%. When you mess with the sliders like this, you get extra range with shot, which is definitely very, very helpful. I just use one. There's no reason going more. So yes, 60%, 80% is definitely what I'd recommend. Now for R, I have Smash, but I set the type to Shockwave, and I set the amount to 2. So what this does, right, it makes your Smash go from this to this instead, which is a very solid move. This move is very good for combo potential. You can do a crash, and then since you're up in their face, you can just use it after. It's very, very good damage. Now for F, I have my Seleno. You can't really do a lot with this move. I would keep the knockback because it knocks your opponent to the ground, and you can kind of abuse that. It definitely helps you get another move in when you use the Seleno and actually hit somebody. It knocks them to the ground, so I just find that really helpful. But still, overall, Seleno's a very, very good fighting style move. Now for V, I have my focus ability, which is the aura that you use with fighting styles, and I set my type to power. You could go speed aura if you want to be like annoying with Thermo Fist. I don't really think you need the extra speed since you're literally using the fastest fighting style in the game. So I'm just using power. That's just my preference. If you're using a fighting style like Iron Leg, you can go resistance aura for the because Iron Leg actually gives a resistance boost. So yeah, you can definitely abuse that. For C, I have my rushdown ability. I just have the hit set to 1. Here's actually why I use 1. I feel like if I use multiple hits, it gives people more time to like think about what they want to do after getting grabbed. I feel like it gives them more time to like prepare to block. So I feel like less prepare time to actually defend yourself after being grabbed. I don't know. That's just what I think. But if you're using a magic like that has a blind ability, just set that shit to max, because you know you just want to abuse that blind ability because it just stacks on every hit. And these are magics like light, snow, and sand. And yeah, use knockback because it knocks the finisher sledgehammer and knocks the opponent to the ground. And I personally like using shot or maybe smash after. Now for my last ability, I have the actual smash move, type slam. 1, I wouldn't recommend going 2 because it's just extra unnecessary end lag. When I use Thermo Fist, I like just being quick and just not having a lot of end lag. You just gotta keep moving and maintaining an aggressive playstyle, so just, I wouldn't go too crazy with the amount of your moves. Alright, so with all that out of the way, let's talk about the best Warlock builds in 1.17. Now, as I said in the beginning of the video, Warlock is definitely best used to its fullest potential if you go for anything on imbuement that has a synergy. So that means you have a lot of options, and that's what makes Warlock pretty cool as a class. But yeah, the best fighting styles for Warlock are definitely Thermo Fist, even though if you think Thermo Fist is a bad fighting style, or maybe it's over nerfed, or anything like that, I'm just gonna tell you, you're wrong. Thermo Fist is just absolutely a very, very good fighting style. The only downside to Thermo Fist is just maintaining the aggressive playstyle and managing the meter. Can definitely take a little bit of time to learn. Once you get used to it, you're going to be doing really good in PvP. I can promise you that. Sailor Fist is definitely very, very good for Warlock because the meter is definitely very easier to manage. You get more access to more sun synergies, for example, like paralyzed, frozen, stuff like that. Or if you want to go for more powerful synergies like Iron Leg, where you get access to bleed synergies, you can definitely abuse very high damage bleed synergies like lightning, ice. You can even use Warlock builds like Shadow Basic because you're combining two things that have very, very good base stats. So yeah, basic combat is definitely very usable for Warlock 2. I feel like that's underrated, but it's just not as good as Synergy Warlocks because those are just better. Now, fighting styles like Cannon Fist and Boxing I feel like they are definitely weaker when it comes to Warlock because Boxing is just a weak fighting style, damage-wise. The speed is good, which doesn't mean you can't do good with Boxing. I've seen Boxing Warlocks, those work, and you still have potential, but it's the same case with basic combat. You don't have synergies. Cannon Fist Warlock, honestly, I have nothing to really say about that because I've never played Cannon Fist. I barely see anybody use Cannon Fist. So if anybody who uses Cannon Fist in the comments, definitely give your experience with that. So now that I've explained like every fighting style, I'd say the best Warlock builds in the game. I'm just going to give examples now. Definitely Plasma Thermo Fist, Acid Thermo Fist, Fire Thermo Fist is pretty good. Wood Thermo Fist is very, very good. A very, very powerful combo. I've seen a lot of people run that. Ice Sailor Fist or Ice Iron Leg is very, very good because Ice is just so good. Ice is just like, it's an incredible magic. It has really good base stats. Even though it's slower, it still has really good synergies. Every time I fight an ice warlock, it's definitely a very, very hard fight. And if you're using ice with Sailor Fist, you're gonna get that really good stun synergy. Snow Sailor Fist is very, very good. I know I said I didn't like it, but that doesn't mean it's bad. Snow Sailor Fist is a really good synergy too. It just wasn't for me. I just didn't really have fun on it. If you're wondering what a good combo could be for Steam Imbuement, the best magic to use for Steam Imbuement on Warlock is definitely Ash. That's just what I've heard and what I've seen be used best. Other combos like Lightning Sailor Fist, Lightning Thermo Fist, those are really good too. It's kind of preference on how you want to play. Both are really good. Also, I have a friend who runs Sand Thermo Fist. I know that's like very rare occurrence, but like they ran Sand Thermo and oh my god, it does so much damage. Okay, I almost forgot to mention, there's also a really good magic that pairs well with fast fighting styles, which is Crystal. If you're using Crystal on boxing, it can actually be a really good combo because Crystal gives off the crystallize effect. It does 30% extra damage after the 4th hit, and I feel like fighting styles are definitely very, very good with that because fighting styles are very quick with combos. Explosion Thermo Fist is also a really, really good combo that is really abusable because of that high damage, that high size. It's very easy to use, honestly. So that is probably the best Warlock builds that I can think of for the current state of the game. If I missed any, definitely let me know in the comments. But to end off the video, I hope this video helped. I hope this video was worth the wait. I'll be covering Warrior next for my next build video. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.